Dr. Hatcher, so tell us the origin of color-free, crime-free.
30 years ago, we had a vision for doing outside evangelism and being effective with reaching Black, white, Hispanic, Latino, having a great deal of effectiveness. We realized that we'd have a race war and have problems on our hand because we were effective with gang members. And we would have blood, literally, when they show up, and they're in blood covenants to death, right? And so we said, well, what if we call it a color-free zone? And in the zone, your gang colors are not enforced. Your skin color is not enforced. What's enforced is the blood of Jesus. It's red, shed for everyone. We began to talk, as I just meditated on how to solve that problem. And I feel like the Lord gave it to me. One of the other reasons is because my little brother was killed by a gang member. He was shot in the back of the head at 27, 28 years old on his birthday. A gang member put a gun to the back of his head and splattered his. And so it was difficult for me within the last 18, 19 years to deal with that. But the same gangs were fighting over color. So I did a lot of work with the state of Kansas, and then I just took a step back after South Africa and dealing with Kansas and had personal tragedy around my brother. But God said, you know, I want you to deal with it, pull it back out for Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I began to work on it before Ferguson, not knowing that the highlight and the biggest issue of the hour was going to be race. But we already had answers that would resolve the conflict on every level of society and have a response where other people have filled in the vacuum with certain ideologies that are against Israel, that are pro terrorist groups, etc. And so today we realize that if we're all going to have greater peace at night in our communities, we're going to have to work together with law enforcement. We're going to have to work together, because I've never ever heard of someone in a critical situation where they need an emergency ambulance say, I need ambulance service, 911, I need ambulance, but could you make sure it's a Black EMS? Could you make sure it's a white officer only? I don't let Black people, you don't do that. In an emergency, you forget about skin color, and even in a foxhole. So we've got to mature beyond the adolescence of making everything based around pigment.
Right. Thank you.